Game on.
Howdy, buddy. Thanks for joining me on today's edition of Glen's Retro Show. Now, in my last video, I talked about the pole position game by Super Impulse, but they actually came out with another driving-based game, New Rally X. Let's take a look at this little guy. Okay, so here's the Super Impulse Tiny Arcade New Rally X. Now, in case you're asking, yes, there was an original Rally X. New Rally X is simply basically the same game, just some little tweaks to the gameplay. So it's basically the sequel to Rally X, but it is the better version that they chose to bring out here. And you can see once again, like their other Tiny Arcade line, they have a very nice clear case with some nice artwork on it. It's definitely eye-catching if you see it in the store. And it gives you a very good ability to see the side artwork and the unit itself. And again, all the Super Impulse games are technically keychains. You can see we still have the tab in here for the batteries. They do include the 3 AAA batteries that you need to play the game. So what we're going to do right now is simply pull out this little tab and take a look at the little demo. So we'll go back here, pull this out, just saves the batteries, so you know you're getting good fresh batteries in there. Now when you pull it out, you can see the little demo of the game starts up. Now, New Rally X and Rally X is basically, I guess, from a fundamental standpoint, a Pac-Man clone, kind of. The object of the game is to drive around the maze, avoiding the 3 cars, like the ghosts, to find flags throughout the maze. Now, you don't have power pellets like you had in Pac-Man, but you do have some smoke screens. And when you launch the smoke screens, it will stop any cars following you and trap them for a length of time, giving you a chance to escape and move on to the next flags. So let's get this little guy out of its case and take a look at the actual game. Okay, so here is the Tiny Arcade New Rally X. And you can see once again it's their same design, which seems to work very well for them. And again, the plastic on here is very thick. It is designed to be a keychain after all. And so it's very solid, it's not cheaply made. It's very substantial in your hand, it's got a good weight. What's nice about these guys here is they have a very good joystick. All the joysticks have worked very well. You have 2 buttons on here. The marquee lights up. On some of these, I've noticed lately, they haven't gotten them the decals put on very well on these marquees. They've done better in the past with that. But the side artwork, you can see right here, they do a very nice job putting on. They're centered very well. And it's good quality. It's got some good, I guess, laminate on there, if you will. So it looks like the artwork will stand very well. Once again, I always gripe about this one little thing here. I do wish that they changed how the coins are on there. But again, since I made these videos, they couldn't possibly have a chance to change it. But I do hope in their new versions, they kind of change the coin doors to look more like the arcade machine than versus one coin above each other, because no machine was ever designed that way. But you can see right here, they do a very nice job with the artwork. Standard speaker at the bottom, and the speakers are always good and loud. On the back here, there is a screw to hold in the batteries, which is pretty much a safety thing nowadays. And they do include 3 AAA batteries, and see it is a keychain. And I'll mention once again, in case no one's seen any other videos, that an option would be nice on here. We have just on and off. If there was like an on always demo mode, because people have talked to me countless times that they would love to put these on their holiday Christmas trees or hang as an ornament. And since Hallmark does make non-working ornaments, it would really be cool for Super Impulse to add that to it and have basically another way to sell them in a Hallmark store or something like that. So enough about that. So now the game does use 2 buttons. You have the joystick here, which will move your car around. You have 1 button here, which is like a brake, because your car is always moving forward. You can't stop your car, but with this button here, you can slow your car down. The other button here will launch a smoke screen. And a smoke screen would almost be like a power pellet in Pac-Man. Anything trailing you will be blocked for a short amount of time. Now, on the game itself, we'll see if we can just turn this on here for a quick second. There we go, turn it on. So your main play field is over here. That is the tan. On this side, the black area right here, you'll have basically an overview like a radar map. And that map will show your position. You can see it right here. You can see your position and then the position of other vehicles and where the flags are. So it does help you throughout the game to kind of find out where those flags are. You see your vehicles you have down the bottom. And it's a very simple game. It is a fun game. So let me put this guy down here and get a little gameplay going of the Super Impulse New Rally X. Okay, so we're going to have the game started right here. We have our joystick, brake, and then smoke screen, our radar map over here, of course our score up there. I'm the car in the center right there, and there's a flag. Whoop, I missed it. Again, I am playing through a viewfinder. So the car will actually go in certain directions by itself, but you do want to control it with the joystick. If you don't do anything, the car will simply move in a direction, because the car always has to move forward. Good catchy tune. Oh, you want to avoid that rock. You don't want to hit that. Your car will explode and lose a life. There's another flag. Now I will say already that I think the AI is a little bit on the kind side, because in the arcade the other cars would be well after me already, chasing me down. Oh, I think I saw one right over there. Whoop. But I've never gotten this far in the game without being chased by other vehicles. I have one more flag I need to get, looks like. So probably that's the first time I've ever gotten through a whole level without being chased by a vehicle. Let's see if the AI gets a little bit better as the next level progresses. It's actually weird, I still haven't run into any other vehicles. Not that it's a bad thing, we get a high score, but it's taken away from some of the strategy and gameplay you need to play in the game. Okay, I do see a vehicle there. Uh-oh, smoke screen him. Oh! Ah! Well, I can't believe I didn't get attacked and nailed there. Oh, I got hit there. I'm going to say that the AI they're playing with the other cars is really not very aggressive. I know this is not a small machine, but I'll say that the recreation of the game, the graphics, the way the background is scrolling very smooth. The pole position in this game, I think they may have upgraded the processor or modified their coding, because it's very smooth. In the early machines, it was a little, the frame rate was a little bit low. This doesn't seem to be having a problem with frame rate, but I am a little disappointed in how unaggressive the AI cars are. I mean, now it's basically just a little hunt for the flags, but without the cars being so aggressive chasing you, there's no tension in the game. It's a little disappointing, actually. Oh, I want to go down this way. It's like playing Pac-Man without any ghosts chasing you. Get a little closer, see if we can get a little better gameplay on here. There are 3 vehicles chasing me. Ah, that was my fault. Right into a rock. It's hard to see. Some of the flags have like an S next to it, or for speed, or ones for fuel, because you can run out of fuel. If you take too long, it's basically a timer. Again, I'm very impressed with how the graphics look, the frame rate is, the joystick, the buttons. That's all great. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little disappointed in how unaggressive the other vehicles are. In the arcade machine, you're chased pretty much immediately, and they're daunting. You know, you really have to fight really hard to get away. And this one, I rarely see them. And that makes no tension to how the game is played. And the car just passed me over there. Normally, he would have been right after me if he was anywhere near my screen. Again, it's still kind of fun to chase the flags, but I do think something was lost in this particular translation of the game. Well, I see that car was right there, and look at that. He's not coming after me at all. That is a little disappointing. That car went through the rock, and is he chasing me? Let's see. Oh, it doesn't matter because I finished the level. All right, here we go again. Okay, I'm kind of being chased, I think. He's already gone. All right, well that is a little disappointing because again, you know, it's supposed to be like a game of being chased. There's cars right there. I smacked into it. Were they chasing me? I have no idea. Okay, so let me give you some final thoughts of the Tiny Arcade Super Impulse New Rally X. Okay, so what are my final thoughts of the Super Impulse New Rally X? Well, I've always said I've never been disappointed by anything that they came out with. This one, I am a little bit. The arcade game, again, this is not that, it's a recreation, but in the arcade game, the part of the game was to catch the flags and avoid the other cars. And in this one, the AI for the cars is just really not up to par at all. They rarely came into even my frame, let alone chased me. And when they were in the frame, they weren't very aggressive at all. Now I know it's a small machine, it's a little hard to see on the screen, but it's really also not hard to see. I mean, the graphics are very clear and they're crisp. I know it's not a big 19-inch monitor, but I think that on this particular one, the gameplay is affected by the unaggressiveness of the other vehicles. Again, this is like a Pac-Man clone, and part of the game is avoiding the cars, avoiding the ghosts that you would be avoiding in Pac-Man. And that's kind of lost in here. Is it fun to play? It is. I've seen this at Walmart for $12.95, still a fun little collectible, still fun to play, but it definitely lost its edge. It definitely lost that something that had you on your edge of the seat avoiding these other cars. So that is a bit of a disappointment. I'm not sure if it's something they can address and do a version 2 release, or if that's just how it is. But that's my honest opinion. It did lose a little bit something in this translation. It still looks like the game, it does sound like the game, but the gameplay, there was something lost. Well, if you did like the video, please like, share, subscribe, tell your friends. Do visit Super Impulse's webpage. They do make a lot of really fun tiny arcades and other items. This one is still a little fun, but again, for me, it was missing that little extra something. But I do thank you guys for joining me today. And no matter what you do, no matter how you do it, remember, game on.
Tiny Arcade fan page. Remember, don't admire people too much. They'll disappoint you.
Sit, Blue Blue, sit. Good dog.